Hello, 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 everyone. Hey, Sue, you are number one in here tonight, girlfriend. You are number one. Hey, PG. Hey, hey, hey to you. Lena, I appreciate that. All right, we got a new member. God bless. Much love. Good to see you, sweetie. Absolutely. We appreciate you supporting Summer's channel. God bless. And um, Booger Holler. I was gonna call you Holla Boo. Right? LMPG, baby boy, mods, chat. Good to see you, girl. Good to see you, girlfriend. God bless you. Number three in here tonight. And number four is Bridget. All right. Hello, PG. And good evening, everyone. And God bless all of you guys. And little man, too. Aw, I appreciate that, girlfriend. God bless you. God bless you. All right. Let's get started here, you guys. Jane, how you doing? Deputy Sheriff, howdy, 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 howdy to you. And let's see. Let me go down through here. Oh, Miss Justice, good to see you. Welcome. Oh, please remember to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for all notifications. Amen. I appreciate you. I appreciate you posting that. God bless you. All right. Teresa, how you doing? Hey, Nana. How you doing, sweetie? Hey, sweet PG. Hey, hey, hey to you, sweetie. Good to see you in here. God bless. Lisa, good to see you. Brenda. Hey, Tammy. How you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see everybody. Um, yeah, I got some tea to spill tonight, right? I got some tea to spill. And I'm going to start spilling it. All right. Hey, Jersey Devil, how you doing? Hey, PG, and wonderful chat. Hello to you, girlfriend. Good to see you in here. Um, yeah, I'm going to tell you. You know, I guess the more you try and understand, um, how could someone do such a horrible thing? Oh, I'm going to spill it. Amen. Right, Miss Justice? Boy, I'm spilling it. The more I ask, how could someone do such an evil deed to a little 5-year-old child, right? What kind of people are this? What kind of people? And you ask yourself, these people got to be awful damn evil. You don't want to think of people being evil, do you? No, you don't want to think people's evil. You want to find the good in everybody, see the good in everybody. Sometimes you just don't want to believe that people are so evil that they could surround a 5-year-old little girl and watch this child be destroyed. But I'm going to, in Summer's case, it is no, surprise. It's no surprise that there's more than Don, Candace, and Grandis surrounding this case. It's no surprise to us. We knew early on that this is a group of people, right? We knew early on that, wait a minute, there's a lot of people like Fred Hill down the road, Andy and Jody Sue across the road, this Chad Arnold guy, wherever he was coming from, Marlena Crawford, her brother. I mean, early on, we was realizing that there's some wicked people surrounding this case. And then, then we look at Allie, right? Allie and her family. And we look at Leslie, another lady, on Allie's side. And then we look at, Hunter's girlfriend's mother on that side. and if all these neighbors down the street, and we're like not wanting, we're wanting to believe that these people are like disconnected from Ben Hill Road. We want to, nah, they might be affiliated, but they're not connected to the massive amount of evil that you see, down the road at Fred's or across the road with Andy and Jody Sue and up on 110 and, and the Crawfords. We could believe all of them was, super evil people because of, just actions from Jody Sue and Andy. And then, hearing about Fred's background and all the things that, has conspired in his life, you're like, whoa. And Marlena Crawford, and that shady, that shady bunch she runs with, it's not hard to, not hard to believe when you look at them. You can tell that they're three sheets in the wind, right? But Allison, she she was kind of smooth, you kind of got blinders on with her, right? I think we wanted to find someone good in all of this. And we was trying, I think we was looking in that direction. But you can't find no good in that either. You can't find no good in that either. In Summer's case, I know we're 4.5 years down the road, but you can't give up on the little girl, right? We can't give up on her. She depends on us. And you got to keep watching these people. You got to keep your eyes, keep your eyes open, your ears. You got to keep, going in and saying, I want to have blinders on here, but should I have blinders on? And I'm going to tell you, the answer's no. Take the blinders off. Because that bunch is as evil as the ones up at 110 Ben Hill Road. Right? Just as evil. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to prove it tonight. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to show it. These are a bunch of sick human beings. I'm not going to say in my opinion. It is my opinion. But it's also the truth. These people have no scruples. They have no mother freaking, it's all out the window. It went right out like time. It went out the window. They have no morals, no kindness, no love, no respect, no honor, no trust. They have nothing. They have nothing. I mean, they are the prime. All of these people are the definition of fucking evil. That's what they are. And I'll be the first to step up and say it. 4.5 years out here with observation, research, all the things it takes to get the answers. And I've been getting them. I've been getting them, you guys. Right? I go that extra mile. I go that extra mile in Summer's case. Always have, always will. And I be keeping an eye on these people. No matter how busy I get, I take time. And wherever the thoughts that is bestowed upon, us by the man upstairs, that's where we go, right? That's where we go. Like one day, just out of the blue, you might start thinking about Fred. Maybe a question arises about him. So you got to go and you got to follow that, that question. You got to find the answer. Maybe another day it'll be Andy. Maybe another time it'll be somebody else. Well, right now it's Allison and the blinders. And the blinders we wanted to wear. Where that area of Summer's case. Because we wanted to try to find some good. But there is none. There is none. I let go. I held on to it. I tried to hold on to what little I could up till now. But I let go. Because now I understand there's no damn good there. It was just all pure evilness, right? Absolutely. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you tonight. Man, I'm going to tell you, this gets really fucking weird. This is some weird shit, y'all. You're about to enter the twilight zone, right? So sit back, grab your popcorn, put on your 3D glasses. I don't know if they'll protect you as we go through the twilight zone, but they might. So throw on your 3D glasses and let's do it. I'm going to give you the best first. All right. I'm going to give you the best first, but the best just gets better. It just gets better. So you want to hold on to your seat until we play our way out of here tonight. Ain't going to be boring tonight, baby. Oh, I appreciate that, girl. I appreciate that. I watched you from the beginning, PG. Thank you. Hey, thank all of you. Thank all of you for being a voice for the voiceless. God blessings. God blessings. But I appreciate that. I really do. I gotta give all glory to God. I really truly believe He put this channel together for Summer and for all of us. For all of us. Family that prays together, stays together. And this is all God. Ain't got nothing to do with PG. You don't know how many times I ask, why me? Right? Why me? It's not something I do. But I got picked. And that's okay. But I tell you what, maybe it was me. Because God wanted to show me all of you. And what good and beautiful people you truly are. So I can understand I'm not in this world alone. Amen. Let's get started. She said, hey, Deputy. I love the Deputy. He is hilarious. All right. Here we go. This is Hunter and Hunter's girlfriend. And look in the background, folks. Looky in the background right there. Who do you see? Oh, that is Hunter's girlfriend's mother, right? That's her mother, like old mother, right? Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard. Yeah, to get her poor doggy a bone. To get poor Hunter a bone. Well, she didn't go to the cupboard to get the doggy a bone or Hunter a bone. She went to the cupboard to get herself a bone. All right. She went to the cupboard to get herself a bone. Well, let's start here first. Right here. She's holding True's little baby. She's holding True and True's boyfriend, husband / I really don't know. All right, I don't know. I didn't see no I didn't see no marriage. I didn't see no, no flowing gowns and, dress suits and preachers or nothing like that. They could be married. I don't know. But I'm just going to say boyfriend slash husband, wifey. But she's holding True and True's boyfriend's baby right there. And she says, mine and Allie's grandbaby. We miss you, to Allison, right? We miss you. Mine and Allie's grandbaby. We miss you. Now, I don't know how true it is, but word on the street was her and Allie, had a little something going on, right? Get down, turn around, go to town, boot, scoot, boogie, right? From what I understand, Allie's milkshake was bringing this lady to the yard. That's what I was hearing. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard that before too, because I know I heard it. PG don't forget nothing. So I know I heard that. Yeah, that was pretty disgusting. That's true. But there you go, right there, my grandbaby. Right? Yeah, I heard it, Deputy. Exactly, Wonder Woman. I heard it. True story. But anyway, we're going to get back here. Looky there in the background. I want everybody to look. Because guess what? Hunter's girlfriend's mother is preggo. She's preggo by True's boyfriend slash hubby, right? True's boyfriend slash hubby. There he is. This is the father to the baby she's holding and calling a grandchild. Right? I told you wouldn't want to miss this. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It sure is. She's pregnant by this guy right here. Hunter's girlfriend's mommy, Old Mother Hubbard, is pregnant by True's boyfriend. Yes, she is. Right? And I had to do some research. Let me tell you, I had to make sure it was him, right? I was like, we got to make sure it is him. And it is tattoos and all, baby. Tattoos and all. Right there. Look at this couple. All kissy face, kissy poo. And she's done left Hunter how many times? She's done left Hunter like, I don't know how many times, right? To go with something else that didn't want to keep her. And then she's right back in the saddle, the Hunter saddle again. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, these people are a fucking mess. They are a freaking mess. It's like, who's doing who, right? I don't even care anymore. Right? Oh, shit. Ain't none of these motherfuckers being true. They just be doing, it's all who's doing who. Nobody's being true. Right? It's such a screwed up motherfucking situation. Unbelievable. Yeah. Her mother is preggo by True's ex-husband, boyfriend. I don't even know what the hell he was to True. I can't say he was her husband because he called himself. He called her his wife, called True his wife. Right here, he called True his wife. See, he says, my wife has the biggest, bouquet I've ever seen. This is This is True's boyfriend who's now with. This is what this guy wrote that's now with Hunter's girlfriend's mama, the old Mother Hubbard back here. Mm-hmm. And quite an age difference there, right? I mean, she's going to go pick up some kid that was dating supposedly, her bestie's friend, Allie's family was her family, and True's supposed to be her daughter. All Hunter's supposed to be like her son, and Bear's supposed to be like her daughter. And is this what you do? You go mess with your daughter's, boyfriend? Your daughter's baby's daddy? Really? Gotta wonder about this, right? Is that what you do? Sounds like it. That's what they do. That's what they do. But he calls True his wifey. Right here, right? And then he tells her, rebuild yourself in front of the mother effers who thought they broke you. He's telling her, True. He's telling True, unfortunately, my ex ruined it. For all one fake move you threw. And then he says some more stuff. If the voices in my head said you cheating, lied to myself. He's not going to lie to himself. He's not going to lie to himself. He's going to do Shakespeare. Be true to thyself, right? He's going to do some Shakespeare there. And he tells her, don't tell me we locked in and somebody else got the spare key. Ain't that a good one? That is a good one right there. Somebody else had the spare key. Yeah. Yeah. That's why you don't leave the spare keys just laying around. Right? Somebody else might get it. That'd be unlocking your front door. Yeah. But he's giving it to her. But looky here. My God. Oh my gosh. I mean, these people got to be desperate. They have all got to be desperate. Look at this dude. He is with True's baby daddy is with Hunter's girlfriend's mama, right? He went for old lady. He went for old lady Hubbard. She went to the cupboard, got herself a bone, right? She got True's bone and drunk it back home. True's bone and drunk it back home. That rhymes, right? Anyway, look at this. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Unbelievable. There's the kissy face couple. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. His brother-in-law's now going to be his father-in-law. All right. That's a good one, Karen. That's a good one. Oh, my God. Yeah, these kids are going to be all kinds of messed up, right? They're going to be all kinds of messed up. No, you cousins. You cousins. This guy's out making their own grandma and grandpas, right? This your own grandpa's one thing. Your own grandma, oh my God. 2025 people, 2026. Looky here. Whoa. I mean, she might get with Hunter next. Right? She might get with Hunter next. I don't know. Might have him, Hunter's kid's gonna have a hell. What would that be? What the hell would that be? If Hunter got with his girlfriend's mama too, then he would be, I guess he would be his own grandpa. Right? He'd be a grandpa. He'd be his own grandpa. That's true. Oh gosh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. These people. This is their food. They're out having cheesecake with caramel toppings and fancy juice drinks. There she is. There she is. And look, he's holding her stomach. She's pregnant. They're having a baby. They're having a baby. Look at that. There you go. Let's not forget. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. her kid is going to be brothers to True's kids, right? Because True's got 2 kids, back-to-back children, right? So her child is going to be brother or sister to True's children. And the child is going to be Hunter's kid's aunt, right? She's going to be Hunter aunt or uncle, whatever. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but it's going to be aunt or uncle to Hunter's kid, brothers and sister to, wow. I mean, tell me how this is all kinds of messed up. This is so messed up. But they must have enough money to be out having some dinner. Look at that. Look at that. She all prego by True's old man. She's all prego. He had his arms down around her belly, showing that she's getting ready to. She's going to have. See, he's showing her belly that she's getting ready to have that baby by him. There you go. See, she's prego. Wow. Ugh. Yeah. That's disgusting. And he's going to be grandpa to Hunter's kid. He's going to be Hunter's kid's grandpa, Hunter's brother-in-law, and Hunter's nephew's dad. Right? Oh my gosh. This is just getting weird. Really weird. There he is. There he is, all snuggled up to this woman. Whoa, an old lady. He got an old lady pregnant. Look at that, an old woman. Ooh, unbelievable, unbelievable. Look at this young dude, this young guy got an old lady pregnant. I'm telling you, these people got to be hard up. They got to be hard up. That's disgusting. That is sick. But this ain't where it stops. This ain't where it stops, you guys. It don't stop here, right? True has got herself a cowboy. Right there. She got herself a cowboy, right? And she's prego. She's prego by the cowboy. Yeah. She showed the ultrasound and everything. Sure did. She's prego by him. Right there. So when they have this kid, it's going to be brother or sister to the 2 kids, but it's also going to be when the mother of Hunter's girlfriend's mother has the baby, then True's child is going to be, True's 2 boys are going to be brothers or sister, well, they're going to be brothers to whatever this woman has. If she has a boy or girl, her 2 boys are going to be brothers to it. What the hell's going on here? They are all kinds of messed up. They are all kinds of messed up here. Can you believe this? Can you believe that how they intermixed? True is having a baby by this guy. The other dude is having a baby by that woman, right? That old lady. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He got weak when she asked him to rub the icy hot under her armpits. Oh, shoot, Deputy Sheriff, you're hilarious. You cracked me up, right? It was a mouthful, right, Carol? It was a mouthful. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out this family tree. Right. Let me tell you something. I don't know. It's going to take. That's new research right there, girlfriend. Right? I ain't never tried to figure out a damn family tree like this one. Most of the time, my mind don't get too jumbled, but this jumbles the mind. Right? It gets you to thinking. Right? Oh shit. It's like trying to figure out how to put that damn Rubik's cube back together. Right? After you done twisted and turned it too many times. Oh shit. Hey C, good to see you in here, sweetie. Good evening, you guys. Sorry I'm late, PG. Clock is off. Great to see everyone up here. Prayers always for sweet baby Summer. Hey, girl, God bless you. God bless you. Well, good to see you. Good to see you in here. I'm doing good. And I appreciate your asking, sweetie. I appreciate you asking. Just tired. Just tired. It feels like PG's running 24/7 sometimes. Right? I'm gonna see what was the longest anyone's ever been awake. Maybe I can I can beat that record. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Everybody go to the family reunion and it's like, hey bro, hey cuz. Right? Hey son, grandson. I like it when you call me Big Papa. Right? Oh shit. it, it don't get no worse than this, baby. I'm telling you, these people, this is why. This is why. You know, Summer's case ain't been solved. Because Summer was surrounded with pure freaking low life, scum of the earth evilness, right? Scum, no mother freaking, no, there is no freaking honor amongst these people. No mother freaking trust, no honor, no anything amongst these Alibabas, right? Alibaba and the 40 thieves. That's what it feels like up on Ben Hill Road and surrounding it, right? It's like, damn. It's crazy. I'm getting dizzy shaking my head so much. I heard that, Miss Justice. Yeah, yeah, it's cray cray, right? It's mother freaking cray cray. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm like, damn. I got to bring this to the table. I got to bring this to the table because, you know, everybody got the blinders on, you know, trying to think some good stuff on Allison's family. I'm like, oh, hell no. There ain't no good in that family. There ain't no damn good in that family. That's why, you know, that's why they didn't get Summer no help. That's why they didn't do nothing for Summer, right? I'm going to tell you something. These people are just as mother freaking as low on the totem pole as Mother freaking Wells, as Fred Hill, as Judy Sue, as Marlena's and Crawfords and them. They're right down there. They're right down there on the low, right? Do the low. Like when you're in, when you're in the store, you're pushing a cart, and all of a sudden you start to do the low. I'm gonna tell you, honey, I don't think anybody could get that low. I don't think nobody could get that low. I be doing the low. I do I be dropping it like it's hot, right? I mean, you bounce that booty. But I tell you what, ain't no way in hell I could get that low, because if I got that low, I'd have to break you break the floor, right? You put a dent in the ground. You can't get that damn low. Hell no. No way. I mean, I can't be dropping it like that right now. Right? I did. I'm still sitting on my cushion. Right? PG still got her ass sitting on a cushion from all that pushing. It wasn't the fun kind either, right? It wasn't the fun kind. But anyway, it is what it is. But I'm glad. That kind of pushing wasn't no fun, but you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it. I got a beautiful, beautiful baby boy. Man, he is gorgeous. I got a beautiful little one. And I'm going to tell you what. I wouldn't let these people anywhere fucking near it. I really wouldn't. Stay away. Back the hell up. Beep. Right? Man, these are some sinful mother freakers. Absolutely sinful. They be doing some weird shit. I mean, who in the hell leaves? Who the hell leaves, their girlfriend and go get with somebody's mama? I would suspect the guy to maybe try to pick up on Hunter's girlfriend, right? Or maybe go and pick up on, Bear, a younger girl, maybe True's sister when she turns 18, 19. But I didn't expect him to go pick up on fucking grandma, right? I mean, shoot, who knows? The guy might end up leaving Hunter's girlfriend's mother and go get with Grandbun, right? He might be with Grandbun. He might be hugging Grandbun next, and she might, he might be holding her belly out, right? He might be holding her belly out. I don't know. I mean, whoa. That's, I think he might be working to give everybody in the family a kid, right? He might be working. He might want all of them to go to the cover to get a bone. Right? He just keep his bone in the cover. And whoever shows up, they get it. Right? That's disgusting. Oh, gosh. Yeah. That old crusty used up bone laying around in the cover waiting for the next person to show up. I don't know. That's weird. This is weird. Right? Yeah. It was like, him and True, me and you, baby. And then all of a sudden it's like, hold on. Where'd the picture go? Down here. It's me and you, baby. Right? He's laying around grandma. He's laying around grandma. Look at that picture. Man, you can tell that bitch has been airbrushed. That thing has been airbrushed the hell out of. And she still be looking funk. And so does he. They be looking creepy. All creepy in that picture. They be airbrushing it up and it still don't look good. That's funny shit right there. Hey, He took go forth and to buy as right. That's true. Act right. Oh shit. Allie's kids saw her in action at the Wells house, right? Yeah, they did. They did. I'm gonna tell you something. I think I think Allie had an affair with Grandma. I think she had an affair. I think Allie. I think Allie's milkshake was bringing some people to the yard. You know what I'm saying? And that woman, she was going to the yard too. Whoa. I mean, you know, it's. I mean, it's it's bad enough. It's bad enough to get some sloppy seconds from. It's bad enough to get some decent sloppy seconds. People. But when this kind of sloppy seconds, oh hell no. Oh hell no. No, 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 no. You know, beat don't fail you now. Man, they say hot to trot. You better be hot to trot in the other fucking direction. No, not today. I'm afraid not. I ain't trying. I'm not looking to be my own grandpa, grandma. All right. This is freaking weird. Before you know it, they're gonna mother freaking be great grandma and grandpas, right? They're gonna make themselves great grandma and grandpas. This is weird. That's what I'm afraid of. Right? That is the one what I'm afraid of. That's gonna be real scary. And the weird thing is their kid, you know, might end up like if they end up having a boy, it might end up marrying or being with these guys. If they have a girl, their boy might get with their girl, right? They're going to be like, "Oh, you guys ain't no relation anyway. You're not, you're not no relation." So, yeah, the relation, because your grandma now to Truth's kids, your grandma, this dude is definitely daddy and grandpa at the same time to Hunter's kid. I mean, oh my gosh, unbelievable. But this is the way these people think, right? It's the way they think. Let's raise these kids together. If they decide, and they're the type be like, you guys ain't nothing. You could get together if you wanted to. Oh hell no. I mean that. And then where is that going to put the family? Where is that going to put the family? Because now it's going to be auntie marrying up to uncle, right? Uncle slash, brother slash, wow. It's going to be, that ain't a family tree, man. That is a mother freaking maze. Right? I guess these people want to keep their asses on the ground. They're afraid of heights. They ain't trying to have no family tree. They trying to make mazes so they can keep those feet on the ground. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. He said, please like this live. Amen. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Kindle. I appreciate it. Absolutely. If you ain't hit the like button, please do. It's free. It's free. It keeps PG out here for you. It keeps PG out here. Keeps these kids out here. It keeps all of this right here out here, right? So hit that like button. If you don't do nothing else, definitely hit that like button. PG will be back. You hit that like button, PG will be back to bring you more stuff, right? I'll bring you more stuff. It initiates me. Seeing all them likes initiates PG to go research and find some more stuff for you. Some good stuff, right? Like this. But yeah, so what do you guys think about that? What do you think about that? I'm going to tell you something. It just goes to show, and it further strengthens Summer's case as to the type of evilness that surrounded her, the type of evilness that had no dignity, no pride, no mother freaking loyalty, no anything to anybody, right? These were a bunch of selfish, self-seeking, self-centered human beings that did not care to hold loyalty to one another within their own household. So how are they going to hold any loyalty to a little girl in another household, right? I want to let you guys hear some of the freaking rubbish that came out of Hunter and his sister's mouth, right? When it comes to Summer Wells. Let's hear some of their rubbish that they decided to, put out.
They want to act like they know it all. That's all. They want to be famous, and they're fucking not. They're
No, nobody's looking to be famous. They ain't a damn person out here looking to be famous, right? None of us are looking to be famous. What we're looking to do is be a voice for the voiceless. What we're looking to do is help a 5-year-old little girl that didn't get no help, right? They didn't get no help from these mother freakers to sit around and say, oh, you just want to be famous. You just want to be, you know why they feel that somebody out here wants to be famous? You know why? Because they can't figure out why anybody would do what we do, right? Would do what we do for these missing children, because they sure the fuck wouldn't do it, right? They sure in the hell wouldn't fucking do it. They can't understand how somebody, has a kind heart, a loyal heart, a caring heart, and all the good things that these motherfuckers are missing. They can't understand any of us because they're evil, and evil can't understand righteousness, right? Got to be righteous to understand it. Amen.
All these people are saying in that group, in that chat right now, is this would be over if the truth came out about Summer. It don't fucking matter about Summer. You're attacking my mother.
Nothing to do with it. With
this
how she's in the hospital.
This has
That's
nothing.
Ridiculous.
My mother. Okay.
You hear that?
Are saying in that group, in that chat right now, is this would be over if the truth came out about Summer. It don't fucking matter about Summer.
Oh, it don't matter about effing Summer, huh? It don't matter about effing Summer. This is how this boy really thought about Summer. Oh, she's like a little sister to me, not like weird, I always was there for her, not like the weird, the weird kind of be there for her, like, the righteous kind of be there for her. Remember him saying that? Remember him sitting up there blowing smoke up Chris's backside about how he, was like the big brother that Summer didn't have, and how good and how nice and how much he cared about her, and how she's like a little sister, right? All bullshit. He just said exactly how he felt about Summer. And that's how he was able to go to that swimming hole with that nasty freaking Candace that groomed his ass, right? That groomed his ass, was bragging. She was bragging to Jose how he, she was his first, right? She was bragging about how she was his first. And you know, how freaking disgusting is that, right? How disgusting was that? I mean, he was trying to deny it. He was trying to deny it. But it's, you know, and he acts like, you know, he's probably telling Candace he's denying it because of Dawn and you know, it's problems with Dawn. But he was mother freaking denying it because he don't want nobody knowing that he was ever with crusty footed, crusty booty, crusty everything Candace, right? Just all crusty Candace. Yeah, he didn't want anybody knowing that. He embarrassed as hell, right? To let anybody know that he, you know, he was groomed by that crustiness. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it was. You know, but he won't tell her, hey, look, you need to keep your mouth shut because you're embarrassing the hell out of me. You know, old lady, you took advantage of me and groomed me up and, you know, and done things that I really wish wouldn't have ever been done. And, you know, makes me want to puke now, right? Makes me want to puke now to think that, you know, I was licking past that smell like Don Wells was. And, you know, that's just sick. And, you know, but then again, he's probably, you know, none of them people probably wash their backsides. If you ask me, they don't seem to know what soap and water is around there. So bottom line is, you know, they're all crusty if you ask me. And they're all intermixing, you know, like freaking dirty laundry. And it's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's disgusting that little Summer had to, you know, even be a part, her or her brothers. No child should be a part of these sick, evil mother freaking people right here. I mean, I don't understand it. Where in the hell is Child Protective Services? Where is CPS and all of this, you know, all of this madness going on with all of what these people are doing? I mean, you know, they don't take care of these kids. They don't care what happens to these kids. And it's not right. It's not right. Look what happened to the Wells kids. And shoot, True's already lost her child, right? She already lost her first kid to CPS, you know, over abuse. She's lost her kids over abuse once, right? And had to regain them. Now she's got shared custody going on with this guy that's over there messing with an old lady that calls herself grandma to the kids, right? I mean, oh my gosh. This is you know, yeah. I'm going to tell you something. They're overrated and overloaded. That is so true. That is so true. But you know, they're not done. They're not done running their mouths about Summer.
Attacking my
Has
mother.
nothing to do with it. With
This
how
has-
she's in the hospital.
This has
That's
nothing.
ridiculous.
My mother, okay, you people are fucking sick. My mother being in the hospital has nothing to do with Summer Wells. You fucking people are goddamn sick. That is all you care about. You people are you make me sick.
We're sick for caring about a 5-year-old missing child. We're sick for wondering what happened to Allison because she happened to go out the same exact way as her bestie friend, right? Leslie. We're all sick for taking note that Leslie was over at Allison's house saying, if you don't go to law enforcement and tell law enforcement what you know, then I'm going to go to law enforcement, Allie, and I'm going to tell them what you ain't wanting to go there and tell. Now, you know, why would Leslie say go to law enforcement and tell them something, Allison? Why, you know, True wasn't in no trouble with law enforcement, so she didn't have nothing to tell on True. And Bear wasn't in trouble with law enforcement, so she wouldn't be saying go there and talk about Bear. Who was she saying go talk about to law enforcement? Hunter. Because Hunter's the only one that was involved in the Summer Wells case that Leslie could have been talking about and that Allison better go tell or she was going to. right? So she must have knew and heard and figured something out. And she was going to leave it up to Allison to go do it. And what happened to her? What happened to her? Oh, she got sick. She fell, hit her head, went into a coma, and died. And then Hunter moves back with Mommy. And he rips all of Mommy's rent off. They get tattoos and giving Allison a lot of hell. And Allison says, I should have just turned you in when I could have. I should have just told the truth about Summer's case. And you know what? After you taking all my money and you doing me the way you've been doing me, I think I may just go to law enforcement and tell the truth and let them have you and take you and do what they need to do with you. And it seems like Allie ends up being sick, falls, hits her head, and goes into a coma and dies. Boy, what a coincidence. She passes away exactly the same way as Leslie did, who was, talking about going to law enforcement too. Ain't that a coincidence? So you know what, True? Shut the fuck up. Nobody cared about your mommy being in the hospital. They cared about the way she got there. And if it had anything to do with Summer's case, right? And you're right. That's all we do give a fuck about is Summer. That's right. You're absolutely positive on that one. That's all we give a shit about here is Summer. She's 5 years old. She's innocent. And you jackasses didn't do one damn thing to help her with all the information you knew. You did nothing to help her. Your mother didn't do nothing. You done nothing. Hunter done nothing. None of you done nothing to get that little girl help. Matter of fact, I think it was your brother, in my opinion, that went out in that water and did a dirty deed for Candace, and that's why Summer's no longer here, if you ask me, okay? You need to keep your mouth off that little girl. We already know that you didn't give a fuck about Summer, okay? So shut up. All you gave a fuck about was going up on Ben Hill Road and getting your ass with Candace and Don Wells and whoever else you could and getting what they supplied you with, illegal substances. And you took your little girlfriend up there and tried to get Candace to talk her into letting you do dirty things to her. Candace told all about it. To do dirty things to her while you had her up there. And you probably did. You probably did. So don't even go there. Don't even go there. You got something to say to PG, bring your ass up here and say it. You don't like this live? Bring that ass on up here and say something. I don't think you want to talk to me. You talk your shit all you want to. You done nothing to help this little girl. Because you're a selfish, self-seeking, self-centered piece of trash, just like the rest of them people on Ben Hill Road. You're no better. And you're right. All we give a fuck about is Summer. You could take that to the bank. Sit there and thought she'd run her mouth. Redirect everything to be about them. Well, putting Summer down. Well, turning on this little girl the way they all turned on her. After they used her and abused her to the point that she needed to be destroyed. And that's my opinion. And I wouldn't doubt one lick if True brought some little girl up there and trying to get Candace to, agree that it's okay for her and that little girl to do bad things together, then how trusting was True to be around Summer? And True did mention how she was looking at Summer's places that you shouldn't be looking at, right? She was talking about how crusty and dirty Summer's places were. What the hell you doing looking? What the fuck was you doing looking? Right? Because I wouldn't even think to be looking at some little kid. I wouldn't even notice. I wouldn't have even noticed, to be honest. So if you take the time to be noticing, there's something wrong with you. Just saying. That's my opinion. If somebody takes time to notice something like that, there's something fucking wrong with that person. Because you're looking at a child a little too hard in places you shouldn't have your eyeballs, right? Just saying. No, Allison didn't, Anna. No, she didn't. She didn't do her job as a mom, and she told a good story, about doing everything. Allison, was all show, no action, right? She's all show, no action. Hey, girlfriend, PG's going to say it. PG's going to say it. I don't come out here. I don't come out here for click, likes, and views. I come out here for the truth, baby. I come out here for the truth. I come out here to put it on the table to help these missing people. I don't come out here for anything else. You want the truth, you're going to hear it right here. I don't beat around no bushes, absolutely not. I tell it like it is. And I want people to take them blinders off, and I want them to see these people, all of these people, not just Fred Hill and Andy and Jody Sue's and Don Candace and Grandis's and Marlena's, and I want them to see Allison's and Allie's family as well. The ones who sit around and try to play victims, wanted to try to be victims like the Wells kids were, when indeed they were not victims at all. They were mother freaking culprits up there doing the same shit as all the rest of them evil bastards, right? They was all up there, just one big damn party, and those kids being used and abused and, took down, passed around, and just done so damn wrong, to the point that one's missing and the others probably won't ever be able to live a normal life again. And it's bullshit. It's pure bullshit. I have no mercy on these people. I have no mercy for them at all. They're fucking trash. That's my opinion. They're fucking trash. And it ain't just my opinion. It's the truth. It's the truth. Who in the hell goes around, who in the freak goes around and, you're messing with him tonight, and that one can, go get the bone tomorrow night, and this one could be on the bone the next night. I mean, and that's what they did with Jose too, right? They was up there. Allison had Jose up there, and the next thing you know, Candace wanted to get the bone out of the cabinet, and Grandis was getting the bone out of the cabinet, and they was all wanting to, they was all wanting to gnaw on the bone at one time, right? Because that's what they do. These are a bunch of sick individual people. And they all know what their evilness is and how it is. And they were up there, they was all up there having one big, disgusting fest with children, with underage minors involved, right? And it was disgusting. Absolutely damn disgusting. If this bitch wants to run her mouth, won't you run her mouth about where Summer's at and what exactly fucking happened? Because Summer was taken into her house and put into that outfit and propped up on those milk jugs. And she knows it. She knows it. Why don't she come? If she wants to run that mouth, won't she run it about that, right? Or she run it about how Candace used her brother to go to that swimming hole and do the dirty deed they done? Why don't you run it about that? Why don't once in her damn life she think about somebody besides her fucking self. Right? There you fucking go. That's a thought. Right? That's a real damn thought. I'm going to move on.
Oh yeah, the newer ones would bark at me, definitely.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff happening on YouTube currently with some of Dawn's relatives that have come forward with some stories about Dawn's history. Did you ever suspect or believe that there was any type of inappropriate actions or inappropriate things happening with any of the children on Dawn's side?
Well, Donnie did come out and say that he has been to prison. He never told me what for. But another reason why I fell out of that whole situation was because Candace's boys were acting funny. Like, it came across one day in the store that one of her kids said another one of them touched them. And I'm like, did you ask them? I said, did you sit down and have a talk with them? She said, no, we will when we get home.
Did you hear that? Listen to this. Listen to this bullshit.
What for? But another reason why I fell out of that whole situation was because Candace's boys were acting funny.
Candace's boys were acting funny.
Like, it came across one day in the store that one of her kids said another one of them touched them.
When one of her kids said one of the other kids touched them.
And I'm like, did you ask them?
She says, Candace, did you ask them?
I said, did you sit down and have a talk with them?
Did you sit down, Candace, and have a talk with them?
She said, no, we will when we get home.
She said, no, we will when we get home. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, let's all give a hand to Allison. Let's all give a hand to her that she brought it to Candace's attention, and Candace was going to talk about it when she got home. Fuck no. You call 911. You call 911 and you say, hey, I got a situation here that needs to be looked into. You say, you know what, you show up here and then you bring children's services into it as well. Because I got about 4 kids here that need to be taken because they got some real shit going on that should not be going on at their house. But no, she doesn't do none of that to help them children, does she? She does none of that because you know what? She already knew what was going on up at 110 Ben Hill Road because she had her big ass up there and she was fucking part of it, right? She was laying around in the camper with Grandis. She was laying around inside the house with Jose. She was laying around probably with some of those boys herself, maybe. I don't know. It's just my opinion. But she was just as bad as the rest. And her daughter's coming up there with little girls and trying to get Candace to convince the little girls that she brings around that it's okay for True to do bad things too, right? Which is gross, which is fucking gross. And it shows that this shit was going on up there. It shows that they were going up there. All of these people were going up there and they was a part of some weird shit where they was getting illegal substances and you know, and bringing other minors there and trying to do bad things to children, right? To little kids. And it's mother freaking disgusting. It's disgusting. And none of them was saying nothing because they were all in on it. That's why they didn't tell. That's why she didn't pick up the phone and say 911. We got a situation. She didn't pick up the phone because she knew it all the time, right? She knew it. She was just, you know, she just decided to turn on Candace because she knew the party up there was over once Summer came up missing and everybody, and it blew up like it did. They didn't expect Summer's case to, you know, to blow up like it has out here in the YouTube world. They didn't expect it to get this famous. They expected, you know, it to, you know, maybe be in the newspaper a little bit, a few neighbors talking about it, and it just go away. And they could start their shit all over again. But when it, when it went big out here and everybody was up there and everybody's still being up there, they're like, this party's over. And we might as well, we might as well save our own asses, because that's who they are. They think about themselves, nobody else, right? They didn't care about those kids. What made Dawn and Candace think that Allison and them was going to care about Dawn and Candace? What made them think that anybody's going to care about them when they were all selfish and self-seeking? I mean, if these people had an ounce of loyalty, if they had 1 ounce of mother freaking Jesus in them, they wouldn't have been on Ben Hill Road to begin with, right? They'd have just had an ounce of Jesus in them, an ounce of righteousness. They wouldn't have had their asses in the presence of people like Dawn and Candace Wells to begin with. Just saying. Get off the panel, Allison.
True. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. You gotta tell Mama Bennett what you just told me. About
What?
calling you 3 o'clock in the morning.
Who called you? Who's harassing you? What?
Not now.
Oh,
When me and Santa went up on the hill up in, what was it? Just behind the Rover store. They called us at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they were on our way to our house. Summer was 3 years old, and I guess Candace had, I think it was meth or something on the table, and she was high off her ass, and she left the room, and Summer got into it, and she called us, she showed up at our door, and Summer was like, she was shaking and crying.
oh my God.
And I was like, y'all need to take her to the hospital. And she was like, no, we would have got arrested. So there we are, holding a freaking 3-year-old crying because she's scared and high out of her mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys didn't call 911? You didn't take her to a hospital? No, we'd be in trouble if we do this. Oh, okay. Okay, I won't call either. I won't get her no help either. We'll just hold this child that needs a hospital. We'll just hold it and pack it around and see if it pulls through. And if it don't, then we'll say, we'll scream abduction. We'll scream abduction. We'll fix it. We'll hide her somewhere and we'll scream abduction. Like June the 15th, 2021, right? It only been 2 years sooner. Because that's the type of people this is. She's sitting there wanting people to think highly of her while she's telling this story. But yet she got that baby no help. She got the baby no help. She was fully, 100%, fully understanding about what's going on. And her mama didn't call, grandbun didn't call, her grandmother didn't call, she didn't call, none of them called. Right? None of them made the call to help that child. None of them. And I'm going to tell you something. As a child, I knew when to make a 911 call, right? Let me tell you something. I come from the hood, baby. I made 911 calls as a child. I know when you got a situation that needs it, you get on the damn phone and you call it. And you make sure the people needing it get the help they need, right? You see something going down in somebody else's backyard where they're going to need help. You get on that phone and you say, hey, this is the address. And you need to be there because, I'm staring at it right now. And it's going down and these people need help. You don't sit there and just watch it and say, oh, let it work itself out. And if something happens to somebody, don't make it. Oh, well, have to deal with it after that. You don't wait that long. And even a kid knows you don't wait that long. I don't know how old she was. Probably 2 years before that, she was old enough to know how to call 911, right? Because Summer comes up missing in 2021. That would have been in 2019. So she was a big girl. 15, 16 years old. So she would have knew how to make the phone call. And she still got Summer no help. None. And her mother didn't. And the adults in that house didn't. And what would they have done if Summer didn't pull through? They planned on doing exactly what they did on June 15, 2021. Cover it all fucking up. Right? We know it, and they know it. That's not my opinion. That's the truth. That's the truth. They were going to cover it up. You know why we know they was going to cover it up? Because they would have been an accessory to that crime. And being an accessory to that type of crime and not getting the child help, knowing, that this lady's got the kid there, that the kid needs a hospital and you done nothing, you are an accessory. And you're going to get jail time. You couldn't, once Candace brought that kid there and you had knowledge of what was going on, even if you put her out the door, you still was an accessory. You still didn't do anything to get the child help, and you could still end up going to jail. Right? If the child didn't make it. It's just the way it is. So what was they going to do? They weren't going to jail. They were going to cover it up. Because they're fucking evil. Right? They're evil. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. Her and her brother done nothing but blow smoke up people's asses. And so did Allison. And Allison did too. They all did. They're evil fuckers, man. Let me tell you something about evil people. They have a slick tongue. Evil people, they have a way of always being the damn victim, always being, the righteous one, and it's not our fault, it's everybody else's fault, and they're always. You really need to hate everybody they hate because they're so fucking righteous, right? They're so fucking righteous that you just need to dislike everybody they dislike. No. Let me tell you something. The people they dislike are the ones you want to be around, because the people they dislike, those are the righteous people. Those are the righteous people. You want to find the righteous people, the people that you need to keep company with, just go to the people those mother freakers don't like, because they don't like those people because those people are righteous. That's why they don't like them. That's why they talk about them. And that's why they want to get people to dislike them and to hate on them just like they do. They're sick. They're sick. That's how evil works. Right? You heard it right there. She had an opportunity to help that little girl more than once. Didn't do it. She could still help her right now if she wanted to by just telling the truth about June 15, 2021 and what conspired at her mother's house where Summer was concerned. Oh, and you know what? I ain't done pulling the cards out of my sleeves, right? I'm not done pulling the cards out of my sleeves. And my cards are, my cards ain't evil. My cards are righteous. The ones I pull out my sleeve, man, I tell you what, they come from a righteous place. They ain't the kind that Ziggy uses. I don't mess with those cards. But I got another one. I got another surprise tonight, right? Because I told you guys, Summer was on a pillow wet next to the driver's side door. I played it 1,000,000 times. Hunter said she's wet on a pillow next to the driver's side door. On June 15th, 2021, when they went back over to, when they went through Walgreens, when they went to Sonic's, when they went to the store. This little girl's on a pillow laying on the driver's side door. That's why Ronnie Lawson said, ask him what took 4.5 hours to call law enforcement. That's why he said that. Because there was no movement. There was no movement of Summer at Walgreens. There was no movement of Summer at Sonic's, and there was no movement of Summer at the grocery store. Summer got no slushies. She got no fucking slushies. Somebody drank too, because Summer didn't get any. They ordered an extra one like she was still with us, but she didn't get it. She didn't have no blue, red, green, yellow, any color ring around her mouth, because she didn't get none. She wasn't there to get none. Right? She's on the driver's side door. Jesus then took that child's hand at the fishing pond, their swimming hole, and walked off with her. Jesus then took her. She was laying, all they had in the back seat was a shell. Was the shell. Summer was gone. And Hunter had to look at it. He had to look at it. He didn't only have to look at it, but he had to understand who done it. And it freaked him the fuck out. It freaked him the hell out because he had time to sit there, stare at it, and think about it, and finally understand that he wasn't going to be able to brag about this shit. He wasn't going to be able to brag about, a 5-year-old child, innocent little child. That ain't shit you brag about. I don't care how gangster you want to be. Gangsters don't do that to 5-year-old kids. Right? Gangsters go out there and they face people their own size. They don't, try to steal a car from a little woman with a baby in it. They don't walk out in the water and do dirty deeds to an innocent child. Gangsters don't do this. Right? That ain't gangster. That's fucking stupid. Just saying. But I got something for you. Listen to this.
And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to. Did she even?
He said I put him in the middle because Summer he was going to say had to be packed in the house. Listen, I don't want you guys to miss this.
You're getting out on this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to.
You see him stop himself? He was going to say Summer had to be carried into the house. And then he stopped himself and then did she get out? I told you they took her into Allison's house, and that's where she got cleaned up and she got dressed and propped up on these milk jugs. She had makeup on her face. She had makeup on her face. They didn't only dress her up, they made her up and propped her up on them milk jugs, right? I'm sorry, you guys. I was reading the chat. I was going back, reading something. Yeah, I heard he was too. Act right. I heard he was. Yes, absolutely. I heard he was. Gang related, and Hunter wanted to be as well, right? Absolutely, absolutely. But right there, you heard it. You heard it with your own ears.
Like we're at right now.
Right.
But the opposite around.
Got it. So it's facing that way.
Yeah.
And you're getting out on this side. And where do you put the milk?
I set them in the middle because Summer had to. Did she?
Because Summer had. I set him in the middle because Summer had. They had to get her out. They had to get her out and take her in the house. Right there. Right there. He knows she got out. Allison's like, no, not at my house. Not at my house. And that's why they came back a couple of days later to collect the clothes, to collect the bathing suit and the clothes that Candace left there for Allison to wash up, to bleach up, so that, so that the evidence would be gone. So all evidence would be gone. And Allison had no choice. Allison had to protect her boy. She had to protect her boy that, was up waiting for Candace and Grandis to show up, pick him up, and go out there and do the dirty deed that they wanted him to do, right? Yeah. And Allison was left with no choice. She was left with no choice. But somehow Leslie found out. Leslie found the truth. And Leslie went to Allison and told Allison, if you don't go to law enforcement, I'm going to. And Leslie, ended up with a severe blow to the head, in a coma, passed away, and got cremated. And Allison, after all of her money got took by Hunter came back and, started to be a problem. All of a sudden, she ends up with a blow on the head, into a coma, and cremated as well, right? And why law enforcement didn't look into that? 2 women passing away exactly the same way in the presence of Hunter, who is a suspect in the Summer Wells case. I don't even know why they didn't look into it, because I sure to hell would have. I would have definitely looked into it. I would have been pulling medical records from Leslie, and I'd have been pulling medical records from Allison, and I would have been comparing those medical records for all the similarities. And then I would have pulled Hunter's ass in for questioning. How can two people that you were affiliated with end up dying the exact same way? I think you need to give us some explanations, right? Because the probability of that happening is fucking slim to none. That's just my opinion. I'll keep it. Yeah, when Summer died. Exactly. They said when Summer died. And you heard Marlena Crawford say that her boyfriend knew that Summer, you know, what was going on with Summer before she even said something to him. He already was in the mix of it all. He was already part of, you know, the evilness that was going on in that, you know, in that circle of people. He already knew. She thought she was telling him something, and he already knew it all. And I'm going to tell you, that is, you know, the way it is. That's the way it is. The guys always, the men always know everything. You know, even if the women are part of it, you're not going to tell one of them evil guys nothing because they were already in it, helping plan it and put it together before you were even addressed to play a part, right? That's how it always goes down. Just saying. Yeah, they'll make the women. They'll make the women part of their dirty plans and schemes. But all of them already knew. Because they're good old best as buds. They keep up with each other all the time. They ain't busy. They ain't busy with girlfriends and kids and all the other stuff. They ain't the last one to know. You ain't telling them nothing. It's just how it is. That's how evil works. Right? But you heard him right there. He's about to, you know, he's about to say this Summer got took into the house. We already knew that. We already knew that. We knew that when he said she was on a pillow, all wet, next to the door. When they went through Walgreens and they went through Sonics and they went to the store. We knew right then and there she wasn't in this outfit. And the only place they stopped before the video was taken was at Allison's house. And that's the only place she could have been cleaned up and dressed up and propped up like this. And not only that, we know she's propped up because in boxes and all that stuff was put into the bed of the truck. He calls it a bed because it is a bed of a truck. That's what it's called. Duh. Right? That was Hunter's words, not PG's. I call it the bed of a truck because it is a bed of a truck. That's what it's called, a bed of a truck. Okay. Wow. You're a fucking genius, right? No, not. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, you guys. That this poor child right here had to be around and surrounded with pure fucking evilness. in every aspect of the word, right? And it's sad that this little girl's completely missing. Completely missing. Needed to be found, brought home, and justice served on her little behalf. On her sweet behalf. And you know what? Well, everybody out here is trying to get that done. These mother freakers are talking about who's doing who and who's being true, and ain't a fucking one of them being true. Right? This dude right here is hugging up on old Miss Hubbard. They got his bone out of the cupboard. Right? And she's hooking up with the cowboy. Because that's what they do. And that's all they care about. Right? Now, I don't know, but I've been told that this right here was hooking up with Allison, probably Grandis and Candace, and everything else, and now it's hooking up with True's boyfriend. It might have been hooking up with True, too. Who knows? You know? Who knows? I mean, honey, it's free range where they're at. It's free range. If you got I would like to say if you got a pair of legs, they'll be chasing it. But they probably chase it if you didn't. I don't know. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They probably chase a snake. Somebody'd hold his head still. Right? It's just the way it is. Evil has not got any loyalty to anybody. There's no loyalty. Honey, if they'll do it with you, they'll do it to you. Right? It's just the way it is. That's why you don't fuck with evil. You don't fuck with it. You prepare yourself. You prepare yourself for it. How do you do that? You put on that suit of armor. You put on that suit of armor. And when it thinks it can, you let it know, no, you fucking can't. Right? No, you can't. Fuck around, find out. There you go. You know what I got to tell Candace when she says my house? Fuck your house. Fuck your house. It's a rat trap. Right? It's a fucking rat trap. And the only rats that's going to be in it from now on is her and her stinky ass old man. Because nobody else wants to get anywhere near it. Because they know that shithole has done been called out. Right? Their bullshit, their good old days, what they felt was good old days, is done. It's done. Might have been good for them, but it was hell for Summer. It was hell for her three brothers, and it was hell for a whole lot of other children. A whole lot of other children coming up there not wanting to go through what they was putting them through. but were getting pressured into it against their wills. And it was bullshit. Pure bullshit. You had one hell of a sick, evil group up there doing some really disgusting, evil stuff. And I can't believe that law enforcement can't solve this case. A fucking blind man could see the truth in all of this. A blind man could see how all of this went down. A blind man could solve this case. I don't understand why law enforcement isn't. Just saying. Yeah, right, Anna? Exactly. And think about this. They have Fred Hill in jail, right? They got Fred Hill in jail. They believe because he has information they did not put out about Cotton Simpson. They believe in Fred, and Fred knew everything. They believe Fred was the culprit that did what happened to Cotton, right? They said, hey, Fred, you need to take a lie detector's test. And he failed it. We saw the results. He failed it. Right? And he said he was, that they wasn't just talking to him about Cotton. He was a suspect in 2 cases, not 1. There's only 1 other case right now. Summer Wells. Right? Summer Wells. And they let him go. They got him on a charge that carries a hefty sentence. They get this guy on a charge of 20 years or more. There is people right now in prison for just the goody good stuff, right? They're doing years in prison just for the goody good stuff. And this guy they get him on hard stuff, right? Like the stuff they don't want in our country. The stuff they do not want manifesting. The stuff that seriously destroys human beings. And they let him go. What the fuck is going on here? And if they let him go, why ain't all the rest of them prisoners? Why ain't those other prisoners that's in there for the same crime or a lesser crime, like the goody good stuff that they're about to make legal? Why don't they get their walking papers? Why ain't they all getting turned loose? I mean, if Fred's ass can walk, then they all need to get to walk, right? Ain't right to hold one man when you're letting another one go. There's some serious shit went on Ben Hill Road. Some people involved that wants to keep this shit shut down and shut up. And that's why this case ain't getting solved. Because if it got solved, people like Fred's going to be a parrot and tell a lot of stuff. And so, I mean, what do they got to lose once they're locked away forever, right? What does Fred got to lose when he's locked up for life? What does Don and Candace and Grandis got to lose when they're locked up for life? What does these people got to lose? Somebody's afraid of these parrots talking. But I'm going to tell you something about parrots. Not locking them up. Not locking them up's a mistake. Because I'll tell you why. Parents are going to talk. They're going to talk outside of the jail, just like they would have inside the jail. Just give them time. Give them time, and it's all going to come to light anyway. Everything's going to be told anyway. Right? And that's going to be even worse. That's even going to be worse. I mean, at least if you lock them up, you could say they're lying. That they're full of shit. But when they're free and they start talking and we all know that this case could have been solved and these people could have been locked away, and like Fred doing serious crimes and should have been locked away already, you're going to know they're telling the truth, right? You're going to know everything they say was the truth. Just give them time. Because I'm going to tell you something. Righteousness always trumps over top of evilness. It always, when God says it will be brought to the light, what you did in the dark will be pulled to the light and exposed, it will. And they done all of this shit in the dark, let me tell you something. It will be brought to the light. They did it in secret. They thought no one else going to know. Everybody's going to know. Everyone. Somehow, some way, somebody is going to tell it all. Wait and see. Because that's how it works. That Bible is 150% truth. No other book on the face of this earth is 150% truth. But that Bible is. And it's a bestseller. It's the bestseller. So when I tell you this case will be solved, it will. I have faith in my God. And I know what he says is true. But it's on his time, not mine. But I know in his time, it will come forth. And we'll all know. And we'll know exactly who is keeping this case from being solved as well. We will learn who it was and why. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Hey, spread love. I appreciate that. I got a super sticker. All right. There you go, girlfriend. I appreciate you supporting Summer's channel. God bless. Absolutely. And Ivo, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Another super sticker. That one slid past me. Girlfriend. I appreciate it. I really do. You don't know how much. I appreciate the support for Summer's channel. I got to buy milk and diapers. Man, I tell you what, my little one, he's playing havoc. He's playing havoc on PG's paychecks. For real. But I tell you what, he's worth every penny of it. Every penny. I love my baby. Absolutely adore him. And you know, that's the way mothers should be. Mothers should adore their children. They should love their children. They should be willing to go through whatever, walk through hell to protect their babies. I know I would mine. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you what. God be with us in this world today. God be with us. This is an evil, vicious world. Children ain't safe. Old people ain't safe. Right? Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. It don't matter how old you are. You're not safe. Man, the devil's really got a hold. He's really got a hold on some of these people in this world. And they're willing to, you know, they're willing to get down and kiss the devil's feet, backside, whatever the devil wants, they're willing to do. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And what's even more disgusting is they ain't got sense enough to understand that the one they should have been fearing is the one that's going to be casting people into hell. God Almighty, right? What a shame. What a shame. But like I told you guys, didn't want to miss tonight. You didn't want to miss tonight. Man, these people are just, I wanted to make everyone understand what Summer was surrounded with. You know, I don't care who's doing who. I don't care, you know, who's being true. I don't give a fuck. That wasn't even my purpose. I just find that shit funny. I just find, you know, the fact that they're that nasty. I find it's like, whoa, you know, damn. Old Mother Hubbard getting True's bones out of the cupboard. Whoa, that's gross. That's gross. Sloppy seconds everywhere. You know, that's just crusty and cruddy. I don't know what to say about it. You know, that shit right there just shows you. It just shows you the level of evilness they're on. And that's what I want people to know. For Summer's sake. I want everybody's eyes opened to what this child was surrounded by in every aspect. That's what I want you to know. Yeah, crusty, musty, and dusty. All right, Mama. I love it. I love it, girl. That's a good one. That's a good one. But it is what it is. Right? It is what it is. Amen. No summer, no peace. Every child's life matters. Amen. Amen, girl. I'm going to tell you, God bless. God bless. That's absolutely right. Oh, I also before I wanted to tell you guys, what did you think? What did you think about this? What did you all think about this? You think he had the wrong address? Do you think he was going to be meeting up with the other guy, or do you think he put on a fake mustache before he put on the hat, or do you think he even had anything to do with it at all? What do you guys think about this? I was thinking to myself, oh man, you know, thank God he couldn't get through that gate. You know, if these people, whoever lives here, I mean, they could have been trying to do more than one, right? They could have been trying to do more than one. I was thinking he might have been at the wrong address because it seemed like, you know, he got a call or something and then he walked away, right? You know how they keep a thing in their ear and when they get a call, it just, you know, goes to their, and that's what it seemed like. I don't know. But, he might have been at the wrong residence, you know, because he seemed like he was looking over the fence for somebody. He looked like, you know, he was looking for somebody to hand that bag to. And I think he might have figured out, you know, he had the wrong place, right? The wrong place. He might have been over on a different street and had to go, you know, because I told you when the guy came up on the porch, you know, the one that was on the porch, I told you guys that he looked like he was staring at somebody. Remember when he walked off the porch to get the weed stuff to put over the camera? Remember he was looking out there as if he was looking at someone else? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly, you know, I don't know what to think of this. But I wanted to bring it to, yeah, I know they said they found the gloves. Oh, they found the mask too. They found the mask. I didn't know about the mask. I heard about the gloves. They said there was a few gloves, like more than one glove found where they found the they found more than one glove. And I also heard the sheriff isn't going to be given no more updates, no more briefings or anything until they get a break in the case. I heard that he might not be working with the feds, that he, that him and the feds might be having some issues or something in Nancy's case. I don't know. I seen JLR out there, right? He was talking to the pizza man like, hey, who ordered that pizza? What's your name? And JLR is funny. I love watching JLR. And he was, he was driving today. He was driving over, to Annie's house and show him, how far it was away from Nancy's and, everything. And it was pretty close. It was a few blocks. It was a few blocks away. But he was showing, how easy it would be to, to walk there and get back. And, and he was showing the tent, and when they took it, put it up, taking it down, and I heard that behind that tent, they put the tent and everything up because I guess they were using like aluminol, the stuff that see if there was more stuff that they didn't see inside of there. Maybe, somebody tried to wipe some of it up or wiped it off. A lot of stuff going on, right? A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, I love JLR. I love, watching him and following with him everywhere he goes and stuff. And he's one hell of a reporter. He is really a good reporter. God bless him. God bless him. But, yeah, I enjoy, staying updated with JLR. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I seen people starting to drop off flowers. They're starting to put flowers out there. So that tells me that they're not expecting this woman, they're not expecting Nancy to be alive. They're not expecting her to be alive. And they got and they also got somebody wanting one Bitcoin to tell. They're saying they didn't do it. They're going to tell who did do it for one Bitcoin. But I think, they think it's a hoax. They think it's somebody, in another country or something, just trying to get a Bitcoin. And nobody's giving it. No one's giving it. And I was thinking, if 68,000 people, if we all gave $1, if we all put $1 in there, 68,000 of us, we'd be able to get a Bitcoin and find out who did it. Right? We'd be able to find out who did it, or maybe not. Right? Maybe not. It would be a gamble, but it would only cost 68,000 people $1, and it would be interesting. It would be interesting to see, where that led to. It would be interesting, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny or anything. I mean, a lot of people laugh at me even when I'm being serious. And I don't know why, but they do. And I guess that's okay. But this case reminds me of a game of Clue, right? In the bedroom, with the pow. And it's like, who did it, right? Who did it? And, the bushy mustache guy, the guy with no hair at all here, the son-in-law, right? The son-in-law, looking all shifty eyed. It's like, who did it, right? And it's like a game of Clue. And I'm like, wow, you know, and pretty much, you know, with law enforcement, we know it was in the bedroom, right? We know Noah Pow Pow was there, and it's just right, strange. Yeah, but you know, I maybe he's afraid to. Maybe he plans on. Maybe he's afraid if he gets tails, and you know how police are. You know how law enforcement is. You know, you tell, and and they go get the person, and then the person lies or whatever and gets loose. Your life, you don't get the reward, and your life's in danger. So maybe, I mean, that might be how the person's thinking. That's how they're thinking, that if this person gets off, if law enforcement turns them loose, then, they ain't getting a reward, and they're going to be, this person's going to know who told, right? So maybe they want the Bitcoin to actually stay safe. And then if law enforcement gets this person and they really prosecute them and they really, do what it takes to, to put them away for life, then the person can come forth and get the reward fund as well, right? So there would be double dividends, just saying. I mean, that's a lot of times law enforcement don't do their job, right? They don't do their job. Like Fred Hill, for instance. I mean, if law enforcement came down, and caught him doing what he does, but if somebody would have told, he could have just got, a motion of discovery, right? Found out who it was. And they let him right back. I mean, he didn't do the 20 years he should have done. And he's out free right now. And that person would have been in danger because law enforcement didn't do their job, right? They didn't put him away the way they supposed to. And that's why people don't like to tell. That's why people don't like to get involved, because, law enforcement's going to put them right back out on the street. And then, then you're going to be a target for them, right? You're going to be a target. And it's wrong. It's wrong. That, in this world today, you see people, you see people with their hand over their mouth, right? They don't hear nothing. They don't see nothing. They don't say nothing. Because, they feel that's the best way to, to survive in this world that doesn't do what it needs to do, when evil criminals do things that they shouldn't be doing. You play Good Samaritan and try to get justice, help someone get justice, and it backfires on you because law enforcement and the court system don't do what needs to be done righteously, to keep everybody safe. And that's put the criminal away. It's just how it is. Well, to be honest, why would professional kidnapper call TMZ a stupid gossip show? Why not NBC, where Savannah worked at? I don't know. I can't. I don't know, Anna. I don't know. I love your name. I love the name Anna. I don't know. I have no idea. Because, like, I go to TMZ sometimes. Right? I go to TMZ to watch, to watch stuff because, they stay so updated. They stay so updated on everything. NBC, NBC doesn't, they're not as exciting as TMZ, right? TMZ is like upbeat, showing all kinds of pictures, talking about it. NBC, is more news people. You see the news people more than you see pictures and what's really going on. And maybe that's why. Maybe it appealed to him more than, NBC did. I don't know. A lot of people, matter of fact, I was talking to somebody today, said, look at TMZ. I was looking for a picture of this guy right here. And they said, TMZ has it. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And there was Big as Life. It was blurred out, but it was their Big as Life. And, and they was talking all about it and giving all the stuff and so that might maybe the person just likes the upbeat, gossip type channel, and they are gossip. They are really gossip. And they're exciting. They show all kinds of pictures and stuff and they tell you all about it and really update you on it. And like I said, the news station, like when they was covering the Boswell case, right? They was covering the Boswell case. They showed they showed a little bit of pictures of the mother, with her little crying and a little bit of interview or whatever. But mostly you were just looking at the news reporter, and other news reporters and buildings, and it was kind of boring. And then you go to another news station and they're showing, not just the mother and her and, her crying, but they're showing, her trailer and they're showing the house or the dad's place and they're showing, all, you're getting to see all kinds of stuff. And, so sometimes, and I think that's what draws people in the most is when, they're not only hearing, but they're able to visualize and, and see all of what's going on. And TMZ does that. They do that. And, it's like JLR. Everybody likes to watch him because, like Dolly was out there, right? Dolly was out there, but Dolly's not as exciting as JLR is. Dolly's like, here's my dog and let me sit down and oh my gosh, I got to get back up and, but JLR is like, right there. Look, you guys. And he's showing and he jumps in his car and he's like, come with me. We're going to, and we're going to go see this and we're going to go. And he's just exciting. He's exciting. And that's what people, that's what people want. That's what people thirst for is to, see all that excitement and see all, because that's what they're interested in, right? You want to see where Annie and the son-in-law that's, the spotlight is on live at. You want to see how far it really is away. You want to see, Nancy's place and, outside and inside. They're not letting us see anything inside, but right now, there's a lot going on outside anyway. So it's great to be watching. And, that's just how it is, but that could be, that's not for everybody. you know, I'm kind of used to living in, you know, the fast side of life, you know, like JLR and them. And I talk really quick, and, you know, I like everything moving fast, and, you know, so some people might not, you know, some people might prefer a little more calmer, you know, like the regular news station that, you know, doesn't give too much. It could be overwhelming for some people. So that might be, you know, good for some folks. I don't know. I just think that the majority of people, you know, like the hype. They like the height of everything. Yeah, he wasn't blurred out. Most of the channels, yeah, you're right. They had him blurred. I don't know why. I mean, you know, he got caught on a public camera, and you know, he made himself public, right? When he went up trying to get in the wrong place, he made himself public. He got caught on a public camera, and he got put out public, and, you know, so yeah, it is what it is. I brought it to you the way that I found it. Right. That's what I do. Yeah, he does. He does. Absolutely. You know, I can't believe anybody could do such a bad thing to an older lady like this, you know, 81 years old. 81 years old, and I don't understand it, you guys. I really don't. But you know what? PG's going to get out of here, but not before I ask you, as I always do. Please, 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 send the prayers up for these missing people. Send the prayers up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Send the prayers up for Michael. Send the prayers up for little Jack and Lily, Sebastian Rogers, Emmanuel. Send those prayers up for these missing kids, and send them up for Nancy as well. From our lips to God's ears, through his son, Jesus Christ, God hears us. He hears us. And he hears, you know, when a majority of people are all praying for the same thing, we get God's attention. And when you get God's attention, mountains get moved, right? Mountains get moved. We don't move them, God does. He's the one that moves those mountains, and he lets stuff start happening. So let us keep the prayers going up, so he'll move those mountains and let these missing people be found and the truth be told, in the name of his son, Jesus Christ. Amen. And keep those prayers going up for one another. Keep them going up for one another. Family that prays together stays together. And we are a family. I love each and every one of you. God bless you. May God keep us all safe. In the name of his son, Jesus Christ. I don't know what you want, but I do know God does. And I know God answers our prayers. Worry not, for God is with us, and so is his son, Jesus Christ. Good night, everybody. God bless and much love.